the Royal Daily Tea YouTube channel. Please be advised all of my videos are for entertainment purposes only, based 100% on my own opinion, my own theories, and my own research. All of my information can be found on the public domain and falls under the fair use guidelines. Please feel free to do your own research. Hi everyone, it's Michelle and welcome back to the Royal Daily Tea. So we have a lot of very interesting stories to share with you today, and if we have time, I do have some fun things to share with you at the end of the video for the RDT family extras. But today it's very interesting, very eclectic, so hopefully you will enjoy a little bit of this variety. But you know what to do. Sit back and relax, grab yourself a beverage, and let's get into the Royal Daily Tea. A 20-year-old man has been charged with treason offense and making threats to kill the Queen after he was arrested last year at Windsor Castle on Christmas Day. Now, Mr. Chow, who is from Southampton, was also charged with possession of an offensive weapon. Shortly after his arrest, Chow was sectioned under the Mental Health Act. Now, the Crown Prosecution Service confirmed that their decision to press charges followed a lengthy investigation done by the Metropolitan Police's Counter-Terrorism Unit. He is currently in custody and is awaiting to appear at the Westminster Magistrates Court on the 17th of August. Now, the treason offense was brought under the 1842 Treason Act, which states it is an offense to assault the Queen or have a firearm or offensive weapon in her presence with the intent to injure or alarm her. At the time of Charles' arrest at Windsor Castle last year, the Queen was celebrating the Christmas holidays at her royal residence with Prince Charles and his wife Camilla. Now, Nick Price, the head of the CBS's Special Crime and Counterterrorism Unit, said, quote, "The CBS has authorized the Metropolitan Police to charge Mr. Chow with offenses after he was arrested in the grounds of Windsor Castle on Christmas Day carrying a crossbow. The CBS reminds all concerned that criminal proceedings against Chow are active and that he has the right to a fair trial." So this is really interesting that he was actually found guilty of treason. I would have thought attempted murder, but I'm glad that he is being charged. This gentleman had made some very alarming and scary videos that he had posted on social media a few hours before the incident occurred. So I'm glad that nothing happened and that he is being prosecuted. I did hear a rumor that he could get 7 years. I'm hoping it's a little bit longer than that, but I guess we'll have to see. I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens after the 17th of August. So Prince Charles is facing a new set of criticism once again in regards to one of his charitable organizations. It is said that Prince Charles accepted a large $1.2 million donation from two of Osama Bin Laden's half-brothers. Now, according to the Sunday Times, Prince Charles received $1.2 million in a charitable donation from two half-brothers of Osama bin Laden in 2013. The donation from Bach bin Laden and Sharik bin Laden reportedly came after a meeting between Charles and the brothers at Clarence House in October of 2013. Now, what a lot of people don't understand is the bin Laden family is a very wealthy family. It's a very large family, and Osama bin Laden was definitely extradited from the family back in, I think, 1994. They had absolutely nothing to do with him, but again, everyone is kind of lumping them together. Now, according to the outlet, Prince Charles accepted the donation to the Prince of Wales Charitable Fund, known as the PWCF, despite objections from key advisors. Well, his office from Clarence House is definitely disputing the claim, and they said in a formal statement, quote, "The Prince of Wales Charitable Fund has assured us that thorough due diligence was undertaken in accepting this donation. The decision to accept was taken by the charity's trustees alone, and any attempt to characterize it otherwise is false." So again, there's no wrongdoing here on the part of Prince Charles. A royal source counters the assertion that Charles brokered the deal and agreed to accept the donation against the objections of his advisors, and that he refused recommendations from some staffers to return the money. Now, Sir Ian Cheshire, the chair of Prince Charles Charitable Foundation, tells people in a statement, quote, "The donation from the Bin Laden brothers in 2013 was carefully considered by the PWCF trustees at the time. Due diligence was conducted with information sought from a wide range of sources, including the government. The decision to accept the donation was taken wholly by the trustees. Any attempt to suggest otherwise is misleading and inaccurate." A source at the charity claims that the decision at the time was made following a thorough examination of the issues and the conclusion that the actions of one member of a wider family should not discount other members of the family giving a donation. The news comes just 1 month after Charles reportedly accepted a $3 million donation in cash, which was handed to him at his office in a duffel bag from a sheikh, the former Prime Minister of Qatar. Now, a senior source among Charles's staff later said that the royal would never again accept a large donation on behalf of his charities. The source at the palace said the donations have not been made like that in the last 5 years and won't happen today, and noted that Prince Charles passed the money on to his charities. So it does look extremely shady that people are coming in with suitcases full of money, but in my personal opinion and what I've heard, very wealthy people from the Middle East deal with cash. It's not uncommon for them to walk up with a briefcase with $1 million and be like, "Here you go." They deal in cash. So the fact he's dealing with Middle Eastern businessmen, and for them to walk in and say, "Well, here's $1 million in a briefcase," is probably a common practice for them. Other people, it looks shady because we're used to dealing with digital currency. But again, there was a thorough investigation. His board of trustees even sought the government to make sure it was okay to accept money from the Bin Laden family for a charitable organization, and nobody saw anything wrong with it. There's zero connection to Osama Bin Laden, except for the fact it was his extended family that has nothing to do with him. And as far as the $3 million that happened in the bag, again, the money was given 100% to his charity. In my opinion, that is how they do business in the Middle East, is through money, through large amounts of cash. So I don't believe he did anything wrong. Now, we did have the whole Cash for Honors scandal that also happened at the Prince's Trust Foundation, but I believe the person who was in charge of running his foundation stepped down from his post. This had absolutely nothing to do with Prince Charles, but for some reason, all of these stories are now popping up when apparently they followed everything correctly to the letter. I feel like someone is definitely trying to smear Prince Charles because he's definitely becoming closer to becoming king. He's acting out more like a regent for Her Majesty, and someone is spreading stories of things that happened 9 and 10 years ago. So does anyone else find that a little bit suspicious, how all of these news stories trying to smear the reputation of Prince Charles are all of a sudden popping up in the press. So I do have another story for you. I have a brief update on Thomas Markle Sr., the 77-year-old father of Meghan Markle, who suffered a huge life-altering stroke back in May where he has lost his speech. Now his son, Thomas Markle Jr., appeared with Dan Wooten, and he gave a brief update about his father. He said that his father is definitely doing well, and every single day his recovery is moving forward. Unfortunately, he has not heard, of course, anything from Meghan. She has still not reached out to her father a solid 2 months after her daddy had a stroke. But again, is anyone here surprised? Thomas Markle said, quote, Meghan has not contacted the father. She didn't contact him the first time he had a heart attack or stroke. Why would anything be different? He said his dad is doing amazing and there's still a lot of work to be done, but every single day is just another milestone in progression in the right direction, which is ultimate recovery on everything, and he's doing fantastic. Now, of course, he didn't have any kind words to say about his half-sister. When asked about what he thought about Harry and Meghan meddling in U.S. politics, he said they should stay out of politics and go back to rescuing chickens in Monteshitshow, which I have to say I agree with him. Thomas Jr. also had some very strong opinions and mocked Prince Harry about his speech on Mandela Day at the UN, where he spoke about climate change and overturning Roe versus Wade, as well as the invasion in Ukraine. Thomas Jr. said, quote, "You're going to a memorial for Mandela at the UN building, which is open invitation to anybody in the general public. And then you start talking about world peace and politics, which has nothing to do with anything at that point." Now, in his very first public appearance, Mr. Markle did appear in a video where he is holding a white sign and thanking the people for their well wishes. The sign read, quote, "Hi, Dan. Thank you and the British people for the best wishes and goodwill." So it looks like he's definitely making a recovery. He is now at home. He's working with, some nurses. And we wish him a full and speedy recovery. Unfortunately, Meghan has not been in touch with her father, and I honestly don't think that she ever will. So the last story of the day I have for you is Princess Charlotte got to join her parents at the Commonwealth Games. Many people were taken aback by how lovely she was and how doting both Kate and William were to her. Many people were calling her the sweetheart and the darling of the Commonwealth Games. Now, Charlotte joined the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge at the Sandwell Aquatic Center in Smithwick for the Birmingham 2022 Commonwealth Games. And below, she is pictured between both of her parents, and you can see her just smiling ear to ear, clearly enjoying herself. And it was lovely to see the interaction between Prince William and Kate and Charlotte. You can tell she's definitely learning the proper royal etiquette, but she's also allowed to be a 7-year-old. She's allowed to be a child. And I like the fact that she was confident to, be herself, that she felt comfortable and safe with her parents to be kind of cheeky and kind of silly in the stands. Many people were calling her a beauty and a national treasure, and a lot of people were saying she was mommy and daddy's girl and such a sweetheart. I like the fact that she was pulling some really funny faces in response to the races that were going on. All of the Cambridge children apparently have mastered the art of cheekiness, and the facial expressions are hilarious. I really see a lot of Princess Diana and Prince William in the way that he parents his children. And of course, Kate comes from a very close family herself. So it is lovely to see all of the interaction with the Cambridges and their children. Well, that is all the royal news that I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you would be so kind as to go over and check out my website, theroyaldailytea.com, as well as my other social media accounts. I'm trying to get to 60,000 followers over on TikTok. So if you have a TikTok account, please reach out to me. All of my links will be in the description below. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you for stopping by my video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.